What's up, guys? How's it going? I'm very tired and I'm falling apart, but I have messed with these plants again. So that's happening. Anyways, I'm gonna give this a second and see if YouTube sends out notifications, because right now I'm talking to myself. So what's up, people? Oh, Daryl's here. Hello, Daryl. How are you? Look what I did. I bombed this tank, and I'm too tired to do a water change on it because I don't feel very good and I still have to go to work. But I moved all these plants around again. You got a notification. Woohoo, stuff's going out. Island Queen, what's up? Aqua Noob, hello. Aqua Noob, I believe congratulations are in order. Did I see that you had a baby? A little tiny one? Or am I thinking? No, I'm pretty sure that was you. It was somebody. Anyway, so I had to move these plants because, hello Shelby Ray, because, it was somebody else. Somebody sent me a thing, somebody had a baby. I don't remember who it was. I'm so tired and I don't feel good. Like, I really think that there's something wrong with me. I'm gonna have to go to the doctor. But these plants were getting pushed down by my hang on the back, and they were like covered in algae, and it was just not going well. So my OCD self walked by here, and I was like, alright, the Anubis can take it. So I put the Anubis over there, I pulled all the algae off of each individual strand of this, and I moved it all over here and made like kind of a wall in front of their little hideout. So it's got like the moss back here, and then this wall of Rotella Inni. And then I'm trying to grow some, I don't remember what that is, wisteria, I think, right there in the middle, and then I got my big Anubis over here. What do we think? Skipper's Aquariums, hello, how is it going? I feel like literal death, like walking death. But I got an interesting email from YouTube, and I am now officially a monetized YouTuber. So woohoo there. Just baby pea puffers, Aqua Noob. You have baby pea puffers? I'm thinking about breeding my pea puffer. How'd you do that? Because I'm thinking about doing that. The pond is almost ready for paint and to be in the basement. So that's going to start getting super exciting because I'm ready. Yeah, I hope I'm feeling better too, Heather Nielsen. Thank you very much. I'm trying to power through it. Like, it's been going on for like 5 days, and I don't know what the heck it is, but I can't breathe, and I don't do being sick very well, so I'm trying not to be sick. I'm just trying to ignore it. Also, my knee popped out of socket, so I've got my giant knee brace on because my knee popped out of socket, and it's not supposed to do that. Skipper's Aquariums, how are the new baby Corys? They are swimming around doing well. Let me see if I can get you a shot of them. Hang on. There's my hand. Punchy says, don't be sick. Yeah, that's what I keep telling myself. Don't be sick. Don't be sick. Alright, check it out. There they all are. Now, there's Corys in there for sure. Like, because this is like my grow out tank, so there's all kinds. But the teeny ones, usually back in the back. Can I focus on the back? Hello, can I focus? Some of the teeny ones, those are what I think are the long fins. But yeah, there's a bunch of them in there. And snails. Look at my perfect snails. Snails for days. I got all the snails. I got snails on snails. Look at that. Snails riding on snails. That's a snail riding a snail, being a lazy snail. Did I mention snail? Yeah, they hang out in that little moss clump back there in those sponges. They're kind of all over the place. I really could not tell you how many are in there because I don't have time. Ain't nobody got time for counting baby Corys, especially me. So, there's that. About a group of 5 to grow out to breed. Oh, okay. Aqua Noob got babies and you gotta grow them up. I got you. Skipper says the snails he got from me are doing great. Fantastic. I'm really trying to breed these super pink ones. They're not breeding true, so I keep having to move them around. But I'm really trying to breed out those super light pink ones for you guys, so it'll just be like a bunch of light pink, perfect pink snails. Haven't got there yet though. I don't think the genes are good enough to throw a true line. I was talking to, who was I talking to about that? Dan Slee. I was talking to Dan Slee about the genetics of snail coloration. It got a little deep, but it was good. I could have nerded out a little harder on that, but I didn't have time. Wasabi, wasabi tsunami, yeah. I sound like I'm dying, don't I? If I didn't sound like Miley Cyrus in a garbage disposal before, I definitely have it now. Look, I can't even wear the full bandana. Like, that's how much effort is available. It's not good. So yeah, I don't think that Rotella Innie was going to make it in the flow of the hang on the back. Will your peep puffer eat that size of snail? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll eat huge snails. Snails bigger than her. She just bites them out of there. Takes them out piece by piece. Although you do have to remove those because she can't get all the meat out of there, because that snail, once she bites it the first time, is going to suck itself back up in there. And if she can't get all of it out of there, it'll start to fungus. So I recommend not leaving those bigger ones if you feed those in there, because you can run into some water quality problems. So the pond is almost ready to go in there. We got to get it sealed, and we got to get the plexiglass into the lid, and then it's got to be disassembled so that it can go down into the basement and then reassembled down there. Then I got to paint it. And I found some Kills, or well, my mom found some Kills on clearance, and Kills is like paint, but it's like real expensive. It's like primer and paint in one. But it's like super expensive for a gallon, but she found some on clearance. I've been doing everything in black, but this stuff's like navy, navy, dark navy blue. I think it'll probably work. I'm going to try it out and see if the pond looks blue. And if it does, I'm going to have to go back over it with black paint, but this was like $9 versus $28, so. Then we got to seal everything on the top so I can plant the whole top of it, and then I got to start putting plants in there. I'm going to do some sweet video at Lucas's tonight too, because we're going to be messing around with the 240 a bunch. I still got to feed all these fish here before I leave and try not to die. What are you guys doing? Punchy was telling stories last night while I was driving, and I wanted to tell stories so bad, but I couldn't text and drive and text my stories. Oh my gosh, Punchy, I wanted to tell stories so bad. You were talking about all kinds of stuff, right? Oh my gosh. They just kept flooding into my head, and I was like, ugh! And at one point I was like, I'm gonna pull over. I'm gonna just pull over and tell Punchy this story. And I was like, no, Haley, no. You're tired and you don't feel good. Go home. Stop talking to people online, you crazy, crazy person. Yeah, pop-up books, right? Oh my god, about died. I about died. Like, I had so many jokes, so many things I wanted to... I was like, you know how hard it is to have jokes and not be able to tell them? Oh man. Most I could get out was what popped up. That's the most I could, like, I used the text-to-speech thing when I'm driving, and I was like, just type what I'm saying. It was bad. No good. One day me and Punchy are going to have to do like a super late night live stream together where we just tell stories back and forth and everybody laughs their head off and we both get demonetized. I'm monetized now. We can get demonetized. Oh, so funny. Dylan wants an update on the pond build, so I was just talking about that. It's basically built. We've got to get the plexiglass for the lid still, and my dad's doing all this, so like huge, huge, huge shout out to my dad who's doing like the actual construction of it, and then we're gonna deconstruct it, put it in the basement, paint it all up, and then I've got to figure out the filtration system. So right now we've got the plexiglass left to go into the lid, and then we've got to seal the whole base of it because I'm going to put dirt in there and I'm going to actually plant around the outside of it, so it's going to look like a pond on a lawn. Like there will be like, I still haven't decided what type of plant I'm going to use for the outside edge of it, whether I'm going to use like a terrestrial moss or whether I'm just going to use like grass or whether I'm going to do something else. I'm not sure, but we've got to seal it all, and it's all going to be sealed in like fish safe sealant so that the wood doesn't rot and all that kind of stuff. So that's up next, and then hopefully I will have it down in the basement like next weekend or the weekend after that, and then I can start working on the actual like putting the substrate in and flooding it and putting plants in and getting it cycled and figuring out all the filtration and everything like that. Spoiled Fish, hello. Rob Myers, hello. I haven't said hello to like everybody in a minute, so hello, 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 everyone. I think I got everybody. Yeah, I cannot wait either, Dylan, to see it done. I'm so ready for the, like, when I first set this tank up, everything I did to it, I was like, okay, everything I do to this is to make this a ropefish tank. Like, try to make it natural for them. And now I'm like totally getting away from that and like building it out to be a community tank because I know the ropefish are going in the pond. So I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready for the ropefish to be in the pond. Hello, Russell Dawson. How are you? How are you, fishy friend? I am not feeling great, but I'm here. And I am still jacking around with this tank, and I'm going to go help Lucas work on that 240 tonight, which is going to be awesome. Super excited. Jaden's running around, and she's sticky. Freshwater Fish Freak, what's up, man? What's up, man? How's it going? And I also got to still figure out, like, transport in my hotel for Aquashella. I'm down to transport, which means I either have to bite the bullet and drive my vehicle, which I've put like 70,000 miles on my vehicle in the last 6 months. So my vehicle is feeling the burn, plus I wrecked it, so. Freshwater Fish Freak says, I almost had my hands on a big corner tank like that, but it didn't last long. Love the bow fronts. I hate bow fronts. I'm about to turn this around and make it a bow back. I was just on One Fish, Two Fish about that earlier on Facebook Messenger. Because I think this is the worst pain in the neck to have to film through. There's always a glare. Look, there's always a glare. Glare, 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 glare. It catches all the glares. Drives me nuts. Square tanks. That's all I'm saying. I want square tanks, other than the pond. The pond is going to be an interesting filming venture all in itself. Because I'm going to have to put lights in it or something to make it so you can see into it. Because it's going to be mud and a jungle, and it's not going to be really great for filming unless they're out of the water. So, what's the update on the Cory babies? They are in here swimming around, being fantastic, growing out. I don't know how many of them there are, a whole bunch. I still think they look like longfins. They don't look like emeralds to me. Like, I'm not seeing the emerald look. Uh-oh, something happened in there. Uh-oh. Just take a Greyhound, says Aquanoob. It's a long way on a Greyhound. Plus, then I get there and I don't have my vehicle, so I can't, like, drive around anywhere. I think I need a vehicle. Like, I'm the type of person that has to have, like, a vehicle. Freshwater Fish Freak says, what I hated were my fluval edge tanks. I have never had one of those. What's wrong, Jaden? Well, did you get too much water on the floor? Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Crystal Shack Aquatics. Yeah, I know you're crying, but you don't need to cry about that. You just need to help Daddy clean up the water. Well, I know, but the floor can't be all wet. Yeah, I've never had a fluval edge tank. Lucas has a couple, and they're, I don't know. It's a pain in the neck. The rimless tanks, I don't know. They're pretty. Not so sure about the maintenance on them, though. Sharpie's Models and Aquatics is here. Hello.
Jaden, come here.
Lurking and changing water, Clay Dealing. Yeah, I should be changing water. I should. Jaden, go in there. Daddy's hollering at you. Hey, child, in there. Go on. If you go in there and help Daddy clean that water up, I'll print you another coloring page.
But I'm still coloring this one.
Go on, babe.
I'm still coloring this one.
Jaden, I'm gonna count to 3. Oh, really? 1, big girl, be a big girl. 2, uh-oh, better go. I'm gonna get to 3. Oh my goodness, there she goes. Okay. Tippy Toe says, hi from England. Hello from England. Crystal Shack, get your coffee. Yeah, I totally should have done a water change on this, but I feel like crap and I'm being super lazy. And my OCD took over and I like moved all these plants because I was like, I gotta move all those plants because they're dying over there in that flow from the hang on the back. Like this hang on the back was hitting them, they were just growing algae like crazy. So I had to stick my hands in there and do that, and then I was like, oh, I need to do a water change because I just kicked all this crap up. And I'm just like, I can't do it right now. I gotta go change the 240 at Lucas's. That's enough for me. Kroger Market says, I'm so excited because I got some panda warus yesterday, but I'd rather call them cuddling cichlids. Aww. Yeah, you gotta love kids, Skipper's Aquariums. Always a mom. Yeah, that was one of the stories I was gonna tell Punchy last night. She was telling all those stories about her pop-up books and all that, and I was like, you know, the first time I saw a video of a child being born, I decided I didn't want to have a child, right? Because I just didn't want to go through the physical aspect of it. Like, I love my kid and I love children, but I didn't want to physically have one. So the first time I saw a video of that, I decided I didn't want to have kids. And when I got pregnant, I decided I wanted to figure out how to have a C-section. And after 24 hours of natural childbirth, I decided to get my husband a vasectomy. I like that story, Punchy. Like, I'll fix this. Oh, so funny. Cody says, I loved your John Stoller Fish Room Tour preview. Thanks so much for the video. Yeah, honestly, John offered me another Cory cat to replace the one, or to add to my group here, that one of them had like a tiny little kink in his tail. And I was like, sure, I'll come get one. I was like, you want me to, like, can I film some of your tanks or something, whatever you're doing? And he's like, yeah. And then Lucas was like, I want to go. And he went, and he did like a full tour, like had him walk through everything, and instead of having him do that twice, I was like, I'm just going to film background stuff. You can see Lucas in the reflection of the tanks, and it's all fun, and like, I'll just throw it, because I'm going to get mine out first, because he takes forever. Big City Bettas, hello, how are ya? You missed my funny story. Sandy, hello, how's it going? Sharpies, Models, and Aquatics, I just crossed my legs, yeah. Dangerous around here. It wasn't that bad. Whatever. Didn't hurt me. Birmingham, England. Tyler Bird is here. Hello, Tyler Bird. How's everyone doing? So you guys think this looks alright? What do you think? With the little wall here? It looks better than it did, right? Like, it's got like some actual, like, maybe somebody thought about aquascaping. I nearly put my head back. Sharpies, Models, and Aquatics. You're so funny. Oh, man. Amber, what are you doing? Are you cleaning betta tanks? Snake tanks? Playing with Spyro? Editing some video stuffs, watching the snow bury my car as it pours from the sky. Yeah, thankfully, we're down to rain. So it's actually pretty nice out there right now. Crystal Shack says 36 hours with Caden and his big head, then 6 hours with Josie. Got titanium clamps on the old tubes after that. Yeah. Yeah. I decided that I was like a hard dragon, and I was like, I don't need an epidural. I don't need drugs. I don't need all of this. And then I just kept telling myself, as long as it doesn't get worse than it is right now, I'll be fine. And it continuously got worse for 24 hours. And then a horror show of pain. And then a small being looked at me that had come out of my body. It was kind of freaky. And Let's just be honest. It was kind of freaky, and then like I saw her ears were adorable, and I was like, oh, she's adorable, and I love her. But the first moment was like, what just happened? Tyler says, what could I breed next? I've only bred live bearers. Try Corys. Corys have big eggs. It's hard to mess them up. Try Paleatus Corys. Because they're super fun. Get them nice and big and fat, and then do a big cold water change, feed them a bunch of bloodworms. Put the eggs in the dark. Pistogrammas are fun to breed, and if I can manage that, everyone can, says Sharpie's Models and Aquatics. Yeah, I've never bred a pistogrammas. That's because I don't like... All the fish I keep are weird, like... And if they're not weird, they're like super easy to breed. I don't know. I'm thinking about trying to breed those Bashirs. I gotta start looking into that a little bit. Shallow Waters just got some Cory Fry. That's awesome. I'm losing my voice, guys. I'm not gonna be able to do this very long today. Caden looked like Smeagol when they first dumped him on me. First thing I thought of when I met my son, right? It's like a weird moment. Like, something has just come out of your body and it opens its eyes and it looks at you. Like, she came out and her eyes were just wide open looking at me like, hello, I'm alive. And I was like, it's like a weird moment. I mean, and then you like get into it and it's like a whole thing, but like that first initial moment, because I had my eyes closed like the whole time I was in labor because I like had to focus, like I had to go somewhere else. So like the whole time my eyes were closed, and like right as I was about to have her, my doctor is like yelling at me to open my eyes. He's like legit yelling at me. Now like, come on, Haley, open your eyes. Like, Haley, you better open your eyes right now. And I was like, I don't want to. I'm like, so I open my eyes, and the first thing I see is her big eyes looking back at me like, strangest moment ever. Wouldn't trade it for the world, but strangest moment of my life so far. Well, yeah, okay. Strangest moment of my life so far. Sharpie, I wouldn't say I bred them. I put a male and 2 females in a tank and presto babies. That's what I was talking about the other day with somebody. It's like, you're not breeding anything. Like, oh, I was talking to Joseph about it, I think. It's like you gave them the right conditions and they did it on their own. Shishi's Bettas, what's up? How's it going? How you been? Frank Meck, greetings from Germany. Hello, Germany. I am of German descent from my grandparents. That's why I don't know. I don't know what that's why. I've got the brown hair and the brown eyes. I don't know. Big City Pettas. Newborn babies are like little jam-covered maggot goblins. I love my nieces and nephew, but they're ugly little things when they first come out. Right? Fortunately for me, my baby was like, I don't know, everybody says that, but like, once they like cleaned her up, she was like super, super like the Gerber baby. Like, she had the big fat baby face, and her hair, like she had all this hair, like so much hair, and it had like highlights on it. Like she had red hair and it had blonde highlights, and all the nurses kept coming in and they're like, is this the baby with the highlights? And I'm like, yeah. She did her own highlights before she came out. She knew it was a thing. And then she proceeded to pull all of that hair out, because when she was trying to keep herself awake, she'd grab the sides of her hair and pull it. And she pulled all of it out on the sides, and we used to call her Little Donald because she had like this red Donald Trump wispy like thing. Because she pulled it all out on the sides. It was so cute. I'm like, well, there goes the Gerber baby thing. She grew all that hair back though, so she looks good now. Irregardless, she's hilarious. She talks up a storm. She was apparently cracking everybody up at the grocery store the other day with her father because she's just railroading him like, Daddy, no, we need to go over here and we need to do this, and this is what this is for, and if you get this thing and you do that thing, and she just mile a minute, runs her mouth, people are looking at her, and her dad looks at him and goes, she's 3. And they're like, you're in big trouble. Do I have the German look? I don't know. German descent. It's not much else in there. It's like German and like Indiana. 42-minute labor. Yeah, I'm jealous. Mine was 24 hours. Like, literally 15 minutes shy of a perfect 24 hours. I was like, really? Let's go. Yeah, I would have freaked out. Like, I freaked out the whole time. I was silent, and I had my eyes closed, and I was curled up into the fetal position, and they were like, you need to tell us when you feel like you need to push, and I'm like, you need to tell me what I need to do, because unless somebody makes me, I'm staying in the fetal position with my eyes closed, like, whatever. Anyway, Aquanoob has to go later. Terry's Tropical, how's the progress in the basement? The basement is dry, the basement is ready for the rest of the paint to go up, and then we're going in with the pond. I am not gonna, can't talk, I am not gonna insulate the walls. I am not gonna do any of that, because I think I can maintain the temperature down there with my heater, and once I put the, curtains up that I'm gonna put up, I think I can maintain the heat where I want it to be, because I'm gonna heat the tanks, and so once I get the rest of the paint up, the pond goes in, and we're ready to rock and roll. So that should be within the next couple of weeks. I'm hoping. Sharpies, models, and aquatics. You're so funny. Frank Meck says, how many animals do you have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Currently 8 fish tanks. And we have a hamster now, whose name is Cupcake, and we have a dog named Diesel, and we have 2 cats named Ozzy and Marley. And this is literally the least amount of animals I've probably owned my entire life. Like, normally I have a menagerie, but the fish tanks have monopolized a lot of that at the moment. Because I used to have a skunk, I used to have raccoons, I used to have a whole room filled with reptiles, and I kind of had to downsize all that. Yeah, the basement fish room is about to be popping. How many gallons will the pond be? I think it's what, you know those bean-shaped pond inserts that have like the one lower level? You know what I'm talking about? I think they're like 60 or 80 gallons, or maybe a little more than that. 100, something like that. It's like the bean-shaped one that has like the one depression in it. Skunks do make good pets, Sandy. They make excellent pets. The only problem with skunks as pets is that they have literally like 0 recall. Like, they have a short attention span. Like, you can put a chair in the middle of the room, and the skunk will sniff one leg of the chair. And he will go to sniff the next leg of the chair, and then he'll go to sniff the next leg of the chair, and he'll go to sniff the next leg of the chair, and he'll just keep sniffing legs of chairs because he's already forgotten that he already sniffed that leg, and he wants to sniff them all. Like, if they get out of the house, you will never get them back because they have no idea where they live. They cannot find their way back. Hamsters are psychotic. Give me a rat any day. I agree that hamster is a psycho, but so far she hasn't bitten anybody, and she's not really a take her out of the cage and play with her a lot pet. Like, she has a ball, and she gets into the ball herself, and you can put your hand down there and scratch her on her head, but generally speaking, hamsters aren't super cuddly. If I had my choice, we would have got a rat, but the kid wanted a hamster. I don't like to press upon her things that she, you know, if that's what she wants, she needs to figure out why a hamster's good and why a hamster's bad. And the only way to do that is to have a hamster, so. Yeah, skunks don't sound too smart. Yeah, they're not. They're not real smart.
But they're so cuddly.
They can't really, like, climb up on things, so it's like a floor animal. But they can get in. If it's down there, they can get into it. They got digging claws, man. They will scratch and dig and get their way into stuff. We had ours got into a whole bag of dog food one time, and it was everywhere, and they definitely have like a smell. It's not a skunk smell. Once you get them de-skunked, they don't smell like skunks, but they have a skunk smell where it's like they kind of smell like perfume, like somebody that's got too much perfume on, and you're like, maybe you should tone the perfume down a little bit. That's kind of what skunks smell like. But they make really good pets. They're like kind of like a more aloof cat. Like, you know how a cat kind of ignores you a little bit? Like, or a lot? Skunk is like that, except when it is paying attention to you, it's like hilarious. Yeah, rats are much better as pets. I had rats when I was a kid. But I also had hamsters. I mean, before I figured out that rats are better pets, you have the hamster, and you have, you gotta figure out why a rat is a better pet. And you have to experience a hamster for that, because hamsters end up being psychotic. Someone get LRB a skunk. It sounds like he'll love it. No, a skunk would destroy that fish room, because it would have, you can train them to, like, come to you for a treat and, like, be cool and all that, but, like, other than that, that's about it, because they can't remember it. Like, you would never be able to train that thing not to get in behind fish tanks and destroy stuff or stay out of this area. Never, because they don't remember. Does it smell like ferrets? Musky? Not as bad as a ferret. I've had ferrets. Ferrets are amazing, but ferrets have a smell. I don't care if you clean that cage every day. I don't care if you give them that spray stuff you put in their water that makes them not smell. I don't care. Ferrets have a smell. It's a ferret smell. They smell like ferrets. And they will always smell like ferrets. And I love my ferrets, but at this moment in life, I'm not down with the ferrets in the house. Although I really, really love them. They are super cuddly and super cute and super amazing. And I like to find them, like, I let mine kind of free roam because they were litter box trained, so they kind of ran all around the house. And you'd always find them, like, curled up in the closet, in a shirt. And you're like, what is that? Freshwater fish freak. What about raccoons? Raccoons are amazing pets until they hit maturity, and then I absolutely do not recommend them, which means that I don't recommend them at all. The only reason I had raccoons is because when I was in junior high, I did animal rehabilitation. So I live out in the middle of nowhere in Indiana, and a lot of times there are trees that get cut down, and there will be baby raccoons in the tree, and the mother's gone, and now the guys have all these baby raccoons. So I worked with a licensed animal rehabber, and anytime they would find these animals or birds or squirrels or whatever it was, they would bring them to her and me, and we would get them past, into adolescence where they could be released into the wild and survive on their own, and then they go back into the wild. So you don't really treat them as pets. You don't, like, bring them in the... I mean, they come in the house when they're babies, but once you can put them outside, they go outside into a kennel, you just feed them, and then as soon as they're old enough, you release them back into the wild into a good spot. So, like, one year we had 8 raccoons, one year we had, she had, like, a couple of squirrels one year. We did all kinds of stuff with that. The problem became if you get one raccoon. So if you get 2 or more raccoons, they imprint off each other, they know they're raccoons, they're very easy to release back in the wild, they go back in the wild, they don't come back. If you get one raccoon, that thing gets treated like a baby. And even if it doesn't, the interaction that it gets singly without any other raccoons to learn to be a raccoon makes it imprint on humans much more, and it'll come around humans more, and it's not afraid, and it wants to, humans mean food and that kind of thing. So one year we had a single raccoon, and her name was MJ, and she was awesome. You could bottle feed her, it was great. She was a pet. Like, my parents treated her like a pet. My little nieces and nephews treated her like, or not nieces and nephews, my little cousins treated her like a pet. My sister played with her. She was a pet. Which was fine until she became a big raccoon. So it came time to release her back into the wild, and it becomes, you need to go out into the woods, and she just wanted to hang around the back porch. So that was fun, and you could go out there and play with her, and little by little it became that she wouldn't get as close to you, or you couldn't pick her up, but she would still come right up to you, take stuff out of your hand, she'd drink a bottle, the whole 9 yards, everybody played with her. That raccoon caused me so much headache, because once they become a raccoon, like a full-blown raccoon, they just get into stuff. Like, anything shiny, anything that tastes good, anything they can fit their little paws in, they're gonna grab it. I remember I was working on this dude's car one time, and it was a Dodge Neon, and he had blown the head gaskets, so I was replacing all the head gaskets, me and my dad were, and we had one key to this Dodge Neon, and it was a glow-in-the-dark key, so it was like shiny key with a yellow like circle on it. And I went inside to get a drink of water. I set the key on the deck railing, set the key right there, went inside to get a drink of water, came back out, no key. It's a raccoon though. I'm like, what are you doing here, raccoon? Why are you up by the house? Get back in the woods. Raccoon didn't care. Raccoon was messing with something in between the deck boards. It was the key. And taking it all the way under the deck, all the way up against that. Dad and me had to pull off like 50 or 60 odd boards of the deck just to find the key and get it out of there. And I was like, get out of here, MJ! Go find a boyfriend. Get out. You are raised up. You are good to go. Out. Raccoons will destroy your house once they become a raccoon. There's currently one living in my attic because he used to live in the tree out front, which was fine. And it was great times. He was in the tree out front. I'd see him. We'd wave. Hello. How are you doing? He'd eat my trash. I'm cool with it. Whatever. I'll pick up the trash. I'm not going to hurt the raccoon in the tree. They cut the tree down. Now he lives in my attic. He's been up there for 3 years. I've live trapped him 3 times. First time, I took him, what, like 2 miles outside of town? He was back that night. Second time I live trapped him, I took him 7 miles outside of town. He was back the next week. The third time I live trapped him, I took him 15 miles outside of town. And he was back within the week. This is not your house, raccoon. So, I don't know what to do about the raccoon because I can't hurt him. Because I have too soft of a heart to hurt him. I just need him to understand that I'm very sorry they cut down his tree. I didn't do it, and he can't live in my attic. And let me just tell you something about live trapping a raccoon in the middle of nowhere when you're trying to get a very specific raccoon. You end up live trapping a skunk. You end up live trapping the same skunk 9 times because the skunk is dumb and doesn't understand that he's already been in this trap. You end up trapping the neighbor's cats a couple times. And you know what's not fun about trapping a skunk in a live trap? You then have to take the skunk somewhere. Like, take the skunk somewhere and let it go. Yeah, so my husband put the skunk in the back of the truck. I was like, just put it in the trunk. I'll take it a couple miles. I'll let it go, right? I jump in the truck because I got like 5 minutes before I got to go somewhere. Jump in the truck to go take the skunk down to somewhere to let it go. And I go to roll the window down because it smells like skunk in the truck. Roll the window down. Window won't roll down. I look at my husband. I'm like, the window won't roll down as I'm like driving away. And he's like, yeah, it doesn't. I drove all the way through town with the door open because I couldn't breathe in there. And I was like, I hope they don't pull me over. If they pull me over, whatever. They can smell this truck and try to take me to jail. Who cares? Like, there's a skunk in the back. A literal skunk. Can I please just go? Oh my gosh. Absolutely crazy.
Sorry,
Larry the attic skunk. No, it's a raccoon in the attic, Amber. The raccoon is in the attic. Skunks don't get in the attic. Skunk is like dumb land animal. The skunk just gets in the live trap that I used to try to trap the raccoon. So now I've given up live trapping because I'm sick of transporting the stupid skunk because he can't remember he's already been in the trap. It gets crazy. Squirrels got in the attic, trapped the squirrels because the yard was overrun with them 54 punchy. Oh my gosh. Squirrels aren't so bad. Squirrels will chew stuff up like crazy though. They're like, They also like are hoarders, so you'll find like a whole hoard of stuff that they've hoarded in your whatever. Gary the attic coon. Yeah, he can't have a name because he can't stay. He's up there really messing with stuff. I can hear him like digging and messing with stuff and breaking stuff, and I've already broke all, you know how you have like the eaves on the side of your house that like keep air from, you know, going straight up in your attic and keep stuff out of your attic and that kind of thing. So the last time my dad was chasing him around the house, he had this big pole and he was like popping it on the bottom of the eaves to try and get the raccoon to move out of the attic, and he went a little crazy and decided to just start stabbing the eaves of the house and ripping down, because he's like, maybe if I rip all this down he won't be able to walk around out there. So now all the eaves of my house are open because My dad ripped it all down because maybe the raccoon couldn't get up there anymore, but he can still get up there because he's still up there and it didn't make any difference. And it's nightmare status. Then we were up there redoing the roof because we had to finish putting the roof on at the end of last summer. The shingles. So we're putting shingles on, and I'm like, have you seen the raccoon? No. And like the front part of my house has this like opening on it, and it's supposed to be like closed off, but nobody's ever put the thing back up since we redid the house. So now it's just open, like the attic vent, whatever. The attic is just like a flue of cold air. It's a nightmare up there. Big city. Either way, it's clearly yours. He's adopted you. Its name is Gary. He's a destructive a-hole, and he has claimed you as his family. I don't want him. He can't live here. Like, it's one thing when, like, a relative moves in, and you're like, this relative cannot stay here forever. Like, they've got... No. This raccoon is destroying my attic. He has to go. Like, I've tried everything I can to not, like... call somebody in that would poison him, or call somebody in that would kill him, or whatever. But on the for real, I've given him 3 chances. That's how many chances you're supposed to get. I live trapped him 3 times. He still hasn't got the picture. Like, you don't live here. Your tree's gone. Find another tree. Aw, but you keep me. Yeah, but you're not in my attic. Like, he's up there crapping and digging and God knows what else, like right over my head. That's not good for anybody. I think Frank's a better name for an attic dweller, right? Frank Dominguez. But he's worked hard enough to return home. He's earned a name, I guess. I'm gonna call him something like, what's a name for something that needs to get the heck out? I need a name for somebody that needs to... He's after my fish, yeah. That's another thing. Last summer, when I had my ponds out back, he would get into them. And I tried that whole water lettuce thing, and he just ate my water lettuce. Like... Yeah, Donald, that's not nice, wasabi tsunami. No, the husband has to stay. He makes the coffee, and he loves me when I'm a crazy person, so I have to keep him. You have to stay.
Stay where?
I said I need a name for something that needs to get the heck out, and somebody said husband.
Yeah, she can't live without
Like, no, I
him.
can't live without him. I can't make my own coffee. What if Gary's really a Gertrude? I don't think so. Because you would think that in all the time he's been up there, there would have been babies. Like, a constant, like... yearly babies. Like if that was a female that was nesting up there, there's never been, it's like a bachelor. This is like his bachelor pad, and I don't want to be where the party's at for the raccoons. Like, come on. Sharpie's Models and Aquatics says that they can move into my attic and they can do tank maintenance and make strong coffee. Would you fit in my attic? Because my attic's kind of small. I'm kind of considering it. He's like, oh, he set out a salad for me. Yeah, like, my pond out there, I don't even know if I lost guppies because I didn't have a count on them, so I'm sure that raccoon got some guppies last year. Definitely was kicking my plants. I couldn't get any plants to grow out there because, like, every night they'd get ripped out of there. So I gotta figure out something for the pond. That's the other thing. If I don't get the raccoon dealt with, I'm setting up 3 more ponds next summer outside. So what's gonna happen to my ponds? I don't take up much space. I live in an English house. English house is smaller.
They're flats.
Flats. Oh, you think you're funny? He thinks he's funny. Anyway, it's 3:30, guys, so I gotta go because I got like a half an hour to get ready to leave for work and then an hour drive, and I still feel horrible, and I think I want to lay down and not die for about a half an hour. And I gotta feed these fish. So, in conclusion, I have messed with this tank. The baby cories are fantastic. The pond is about to go in. I'm trying not to die. And I think that's about it. Shallow waters, later. Phil Emerson, later. Everybody, later. Y'all be good. Do cool things. Tell me about it. Mothballs, Mothballs work for snakes. I don't know if that works for raccoons. Plus, I hate the smell of mothballs. Feel better? Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to feel better. Anyway, bye Daryl. Bye everyone.